And I was talking about if we're gonna do grass at a later point, it's better to do the big park first. If we're gonna pick grass in it, have it closed, pick grass, then there's more room for the small dark to be closed and more people to go over to the bigger park. We could put some temporary fences up for smaller dogs at the time, just to give the small dog a private area. But then we will close the whole small park and do the grass on that one. If it was gonna pick grass later down the line.
What we will
A
do
little grass, each end, not the whole thing.
Yeah, exactly. So what we will do is, Thurman will be in communication with you guys when we do get to that point, because first of all, we got to make sure that the recycled water gets in and make sure there's plenty of pressure. And then the other thing is, how are we going to be able to make those small modifications to be able to have grass at the both ends? Because what ends up happening, if you don't design for turf, what ends up happening, you just have sprinklers down the middle, and they just do full circles and full circles.
Right.
And if you want to do grass here and grass here, then that means that technically you should have one valve operating all of these sprinklers on this side and another one on this side, because what ends up happening is when you reseed or you sod, you will require multiple irrigation cycles. And what happens if you don't have it separated and you do multiple irrigation cycles across, then it becomes a muddy mess everywhere else. So that's the issue when you have to separate an irrigation system that's already in place.
That might be worth doing for us.
That would
Yeah.
be where I would want to put the money, because right now it's nothing, and it's watered right where there's not going to be any grass,
Yeah.
like you said. There
So-
will never be grass there.
So with the reconfiguration, not the reconfiguration, the installation of the purple line, it appears that they're going to just replace what's in place right now, right?
To replace what was there, so we'd have to look at some redesign issues for it to do that. So we have to look at our money. We don't have a whole lot of money on that, but we'd have to take another look at that.
Well, let us know, maybe we can loan you a little.
Could we do that if we wanted to?
Can you loan us money?
Yes, from our benefit stuff.
No, I'd want to pay for that out of our money.
Okay.
'Cause
Well, that's okay.
DWP, actually, it's a DWP fund thing that
Okay.
so we are kind of using some DWP money, so everybody should be happy about that.
Yes, I am happy about that, but that is like I would say the number one concern of the small dog park folk is that we have some grass there. And right now, the way that the stuff is set up, it's the high traffic area.
Yep.
Never gonna get any grass there, so if we could get sprinkler heads out to the side where maybe we could have a chance of having some grass, that would
Yeah.
be awesome.
And if that can't be done, I wouldn't even waste your money repiping it, because it does nothing. It literally, it waters the mud.
Yeah, it doesn't keep the dust down.
Nope.
In the summer,
Nope.
the place is actually toxic.
Mm-hmm.
We have a
Really
lot of
is.
people with allergies who can't come in the summer because they just can't, like the wicks, they just, and the other thing is, just flew right out of my head, sorry, never mind.
Personally, I'd rather see the grass area stay in the center and maybe make it smaller and have it self-contained so that it's easier to maintain rather than two ends. If we have one area that we can maintain, it's easier than doing this end, that end, this end, this end, and we don't have to spend money on moving sprinkler heads.
But that's where all the dogs want to go. That's the hard part.
Actually, no.
Yeah.
Dogs actually go to the bathroom and do
Yeah,
their
the dogs
business
go on the
around
side.
The dogs go to the
outside.
edge, go to the bathroom, and then they leave.
On the side.
But my point is, it's natural. There is grass at each end already.
Right.
Just with
With the
whatever we
rain.
got going without us even trying. We have grass in the end and on the other end.
Right.
So, going with the flow is, I'm from the 60s. what
But
can
it
I
might
tell
be
you?
because of the lack of irrigation, or just, now that we're gonna have gray water, maybe it'll be a better, and
Not if
it's
there's no-
gonna be upgraded though, so.
All right.
we
The irrigation
might
is like
get
they
a-
said, I've
have a
seen it.
shot.
It's the whole park. Okay.
So
Anyway.
this is an issue that's gonna be down our road
Yes.
once we get that, so.
Right.
Okay, but we do need to, if we're going to put an area with
Plan,
grass,
right.
we do need to
When
plan
you
for
come to
it.
community meeting, that's when you want to, we'll say, okay, you want to plan, we want to look at putting grass here or here.
Right.
Is there a use of a drag mat at Whitnall? I know someone mentioned at other parks.
I've never seen.
What's a
So you guys
drag?
don't drag that,
It's a metal.
One other small issue I don't think anybody can do anything about. We didn't bring them, but we have these large jars of glass particles.
So much
We've been
glass.
raking, and every week we've been raking the grass off.
The glass,
Yeah, so.
because, yeah, we
Would
got,
that mat do anything for
No,
glass?
it'll just bring it up. off
No,
the
it's
top.
gonna probably just
It won't catch it?
displace it
No.
from one area to another. All it does over at the other park, it just basically provides a smooth surface because it's sort of on a slope, and you guys probably know it, it's a Silver Lake Dog Park.
Right.
It's on a slope, so when it rains, there's ruts throughout. We gotta bring in a piece of equipment to sort of grade it, but during the summertime, also what ends up happening is that, and you guys are most familiar, what ends up happening is it's hot, the water stations are heavily used, people dump the bowls and they keep dumping the bowls of water, and before you know it becomes a muddy mess, and then that mud just, that trail of water runs down, creates a rut, and that's how this drag mat sort of helps out of.
somebody did a good job at our park with that, because those things are very heavily gravelled and the water gets dumped, but the drainage is actually pretty
And
good.
that's exactly
This guy
what needs
does
to
a
be
good job.
done.
And I
Gravel
dug
all
our
the-
own. We've got
gravel all
another
the
meeting
time.
coming in
Dug our own.
at
It's a small
12:30,
dog.
so I gotta wrap this up in the next few minutes. So let's talk about our, and then I need the Rec and Park people to stand, I need a quick with the soccer field thing. So next steps. When does everyone feel that we're ready to have a community meeting? Rec and Park staff, would you be available like 3 to 4 weeks?
Sure.
Go out if
Do
we,
that.
Sounds fair.
okay.
Sounds good.
Is there-
I'm on vacation through the 6th through the 17th of April.
We might have to do it without you. so.
Because I believe you worked, Kelly, with North Hollywood Rec Center, or somebody did?
I did.
Okay,
Mhm.
so, and they have some available dates?
They have some available, uh-huh.
Because we want to make sure it's not the same night as like a neighborhood council meeting.
Correct.
It's a good night for the dog, for the dog park people. So if there's undesirable dates, let us know now.
Because it's most likely going to be on a weeknight.
There's too many of us to have an undesirable date. You
Okay.
decide when you want to
All
be
right.
there.
Okay.
All right.
Because we want to make sure there's enough time, advance notice, so that you can help do outreach, and that you have enough time to come with whatever you need. So about 3 to 4 weeks, are we good with that? And so we'll come
Remember
up-
that Easter is is it the 16th?
16th.
I don't even know what
16th,
day
so
it
maybe
is.
after
Yeah.
Easter would be best?
Okay,
Is that-
after Easter?
so after Easter?
Okay.
Okay.
So sometime after Easter,
We will rise again.
midweek, when there's not a neighborhood council meeting or any other community event,
Mhm.
we will put a date on the calendar for you. How's that?
Wonderful. Thank you, Jackie.
Thank you.